here we are. I'm still moving, so my entire apartment is a total wreck, so you can't see any of it except the bed, which is easy enough to put together. So the bed is nice. The rest of the apartment is still a total mess. So maybe later I'll show you around after it's all fixed. Also, we weren't able to get an appointment for the salon this time, but I have it under good authority that there's a very good chance that Jenni will be getting a makeover on the next show. So stay tuned for that.
Send in your makeover requests.
Exactly. Should Jenni get a perm or dye her hair purple or brown, or what's your idea? Send in something cool. And no, I'm not going to shave my head no matter how badly you ask.
How wild are you willing to go?
I'm willing to maybe get a perm because I'm kind of getting disappointed with how flat my hair is, but probably no permanent color, and no cut more drastic than like a trim. So I'm kind of wimping out on it. But like if they want to play with my makeup, they're allowed to pack it on in any way they possibly want to. So for this JenniSHOW, we kind of didn't have any ideas. I even like asked some of my friends at the last minute, and they're like, "Whoa, I don't know." So we're just gonna like talk, and you're gonna have to deal with it. And even the questions aren't that interesting because nobody wrote in anything fun. So try a little harder. You know, you get your own name on the JenniSHOW. Become a part of Jenni history by sending in a cool question. Okay? So we're just gonna talk, and then you're just gonna have to like it. So there.
So I believe you have a surprise for the viewers. 66% of you voted that Jenni should get her nipple pierced, and we were going to do it on the JenniSHOW. However, I kind of ruined it. A friend and I went to the HF Festival, which is this huge concert, kind of like Lollapalooza, like 2 weekends ago. And you just get in that concerty kind of mood, and I just had this feeling like I had to have a hole punched into part of my body. So I had it done at the festival, and I didn't wait for the JenniSHOW because it hadn't even been posted yet for you guys to even start voting, so I didn't know, and I just decided I wanted to do it, so I went and did it. And I kind of ruined the whole fun. So how painful was it?
You know, it hurt like the dickens for like 2 seconds, and then it went numb and hasn't hurt since.
Have you gained or lost sensitivity?
I've gained sensitivity. In fact, like for the rest of that day, every time the wind would blow, like there was a shiver would run down my spine. It was great. You're really not supposed to play with it for a while to prevent like infection and scar tissue and stuff. So like, try not to touch it and stuff. But it's so far it's a very cool thing. I know a lot of people have written me getting concerned about that I won't be able to breastfeed if I have my nipple pierced, and that is completely false. There are lots of milk ducts in every nipple, and pretty much none of them actually go straight through the nipple, and even if I were to hit one of them, that still leaves a whole bunch of them there. So yes, I can still breastfeed, and I even only got one of them done, so I still have like one breast intact. It's kind of like a before and after. So yes, I can breastfeed, and you know, a lot of people said that I'll regret it. Well, if I regret it, I can just take it out and it goes away, you know? So I think it's fun, and most of you agreed with me anyway, so I don't even feel guilty about it. I'm sorry I didn't do it on the show. I do feel bad about that. But I will show you. I will. Later. I'm going to do like a trick portion, I think. Trick portion of the show.
So Jenni's been doing like lots of interviews recently because the Truman Show is coming out, and the director of the movie actually admitted that he based some of his ideas for Jim Carrey's life on the Truman Show on the JenniCam. And so, could you tell us a little bit about all your recent interviews and like the kinds of questions they've been asking you? And
yeah, kind of ever since Peter Weir said it in the interview, there's been this whole JenniCam junket in the media world. Everybody's contacting me. Everybody wants to talk to me. So yesterday, Entertainment Tonight was here. I'm going to be in Entertainment Weekly twice in the next few weeks. I just got a copy of the New Yorker, the June 1st New Yorker I'm in, compared to Fergie for no apparent reason. It's going to be in Mirabella. That's coming out soon. E! Entertainment's Women of the Net will be airing on Father's Day, which is June 21st, I think, at 7 and 10. Essentially, I found out that it's me and a bunch of pornographers on the internet, so I'm not real happy about that, but hey, I'm on TV, so woohoo! Anyway, I want to make a solemn vow to you, because if I vow it to you, then it's firm for me, because I keep telling myself this, I keep not keeping this promise. This next Wednesday, ABC World News Tonight with Peter Jennings is coming to film me, and that is my last interview. I am so sick of these things. My mom talked me into doing this ABC World News Tonight. I swear to God, after I told the woman that I would do it, I got off the phone and I wanted to cry. I'm so sick of the media. So sick of it. So that's it. I promise you and I promise myself that World News Tonight is the last freaking interview I'm going to do for a good long time. That's it.
So we asked some people on Pound JenniCam for some questions, and someone wanted to know, Jenni, what question would you just get so angry if a reporter asked you?
I think I would be really mad if a reporter asked me, so, like, don't you think you're too fat for this? Because people write me that in email, and it makes me mad. I've kind of desensitized myself to the whole thing, because, frankly, I don't care if people think I'm fat, you know? Who cares? You've got better things to worry about than my body size, let alone, you know. So, but that would bother me, because then it means not only are they being rude, but they're kind of missing the whole point. So I think, like, any kind of questions about, you know, this one reporter once said, you know, to the camera, they were doing their stand-up thing, that, and Jenni is not a beauty or anything, she's an everyday kind of average-looking woman, and I'm like, do you have to say this to my face? I'm like, I know. I mean, I know that's like part of the appeal is that I'm normal and normal looking and stuff, but you know, don't say it to my face. Kind of mean. So yeah, be nice to Jenni. I have feelings too.
Aww.
That's okay.
Have any reporters asked you any other really annoying things? Or do you just get sick of the media in general, just...
Well, I think the worst question that I have to answer is like, and somebody else actually asked this for this week, Keith did, asked, like, if it weren't for JenniCam, where would you be now? Or, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I don't know. I'm only 21, you know? I'm still having a good time doing computer programming and, you know, and making websites and stuff, and I'm still having a good time. I don't even want to think about the future because I'm not anxious to get past what I have right now. So what would I be doing if the JenniCam were here? I'd probably be working right now, probably at National Geographic, because I probably wouldn't have been able to make it as a freelancer after I left there, which I am able to do now. So I'd probably still be working there, having a good time. They were nice people, but it's a boring job. So that's probably what I'd be doing. And what do I want to be when I grow up? I think I want to be Cleopatra.
So Jim near Boston wants to know, Jenni, when was the last time you cried and why?
Oh, last time I cried. It's been a while. I've been depressed a lot lately because of my apartment being a wreck. Kind of really affects my mood. But as far as crying, God, it's been a while. I'll think about it. We'll pass and we'll come back to it.
Someone actually wrote to you saying, Jenni, like, I watch your cam and I imagine that you must be the happiest person ever. And I think, like, a lot of people really make assumptions about other people's feelings and what other people's lives must be like. They think, like, I think in junior high, I used to always think, oh, the popular girls, they must be so happy all the time. And that's just not true. Everyone's just a normal person.
Well, like when I was in college, my senior year, my boyfriend and all my friends and everything graduated. So every day at lunch and dinner, I ate alone. I actually liked it because all day long I was in classes, I was working, I was teaching. So, like, eating alone was my one refuge. And, like, friends would always come up to me. They'd be like, Jen, you can eat at our table if you want, like, taking pity on me. I'm like, I don't want to eat lunch with you. Like, I like eating alone. So yeah, everybody was kind of taking pity on me, and I didn't want it. I was like, go away, please. So, last time I cried was, I don't know. It's probably been too long. I think a few weeks ago I watched Moonlight and Valentino with the express purpose of making myself cry, because sometimes you just feel the need to have a cry. I think this is just a girl thing. But sometimes you feel like you need to cry, and that movie does it for me every time. So I know a few weeks ago I watched Moonlight and Valentino, got to the end part, cried, felt better. It's been a while.
So Jim near Boston has a little bit less of a deep question. His question is, have you ever eaten Spam?
I think anybody who grew up in kind of American suburbia has eaten Spam. I ate Spam and Kool-Aid and tater tots and pixie sticks and all that stuff, you know. My mom would always make spamwiches, you know, or she'd like fry some spam and put it on some Wonder Bread with like Kraft singles, and yeah, I've eaten spam, and I try not to think about it. I really try to avoid acknowledging that fact.
So, our friend Jombi wants to know, Jenni, just as you're about to have an orgasm, what do you like your partner to do? He says, do you like your partner to stop, move faster, bite your neck, or sing the Bugs Bunny overture?
Out of those 4 choices, I'm going to have to go with move faster. The only kind of requirement is no matter what kind of seizure it sounds like I'm having, do not stop. Not unless you don't like your head where it is now. I'd be happy to relocate it for you. That's kind of the only golden rule. Because obviously, like, if I'm about to have an orgasm, whatever you're doing is the right thing to be doing. So yeah, I think that it's kind of makes sense. Makes sense.
Ronald wants to know, Jenni, have you ever taken an IQ test, and what were the results?
You know, anybody who's been through public school, whether or not they know it, has taken an IQ test.
Oh, yeah?
Because they do it. They just don't tell you the results. You have to have your parents, like, go to the administrative building and ask to see your file. But, yeah, I had an IQ test, like, one that I know about for sure was in 3rd grade. They were testing us to see who would get into gifted classes and who wasn't. I made it in. Yay! What fun. It was just essentially a way for me to, like, get out of the last hour and a half of school once a week, so that way, like, when I went in the next morning, my teacher was mad at me and I had to catch up on what I had missed. It was, like, a real pain in the ass. But my IQ is like a 167. It's the last confirmed number I have. The thing is that those tests, the regular IQ tests, are accurate up to 150, and after that they give you plus signs to indicate an extra 5 points. And it's kind of roughly that, because the exam to measure accurately above 150 costs like $200, and I'm just secure enough in my intelligence to not have to know the real number. So it's 165, 170-ish.
Wow, I've never had an IQ test that I know of. That's kind of scary that they give them to you without you knowing.
Yeah. The funny thing is that I was actually invited to be in Mensa, and the person who invited me took me to a meeting just to see if I was interested, and everybody there was unbearable. They were lame, they were idiots, they were like all the outcasts. Now, I'm not saying that all people in Mensa are like this, but the people in this particular chapter all were. So after that, I'm like, no, thank you. You can keep your Mensa. So no, Jenni is not a member of Mensa, and she hopes never to be.
I think like there's like that whole like high school honors class syndrome. Uh-oh, Jenni has a nose problem. Maybe we'll pause it anyways.
Okay. We'll cut that part out.
Which part?
This is a note to me. Okay.
Okay.
Gotta make it visual.
Okay, we have a lot of questions from Jim near Boston. Jim wants to know, Jenni, what's the toughest choice you've ever had to make?
Ooh. Actually, that's a pretty easy question. It was when I was 16. I was 16. Thanksgiving Day, I broke up with the ogre. This guy I'd been dating for 3.5 years, the one that I actually mentioned in the last JenniSHOW, who gave me that lovely birthday present. But yeah, deciding to break up with him was very difficult because, number one, I was afraid he was going to beat the shit out of me as soon as I did it, and number two, I was convinced that I was never going to find another boy who was as nice to me as he was, or somebody that, you know, would like me as much as he did or something. I don't know. Like, when a guy tells you often enough that you're lucky to be dating him, you start to believe it no matter how much of an ass he is. So anyway, Thanksgiving Day, like, I cut out from dinner early. He came over and picked me up, and we went and we sat in the parking lot. We were in his car in the parking lot outside Farmore, which was, of course, closed for Thanksgiving. And, like, I told him that I thought we had grown apart and that I wasn't able to love him the way he needed to be loved. And I really firmly believed this, that it was somehow my fault that I wasn't a good enough girlfriend. But I broke up with him, and we went back to his house, and we had sex, and then he dropped me off, and that's it. And then, you know, he called me later from prison to say, like, I've never gotten over you, and when I'm out of prison, what did I call you? And
wow, wasn't that kind of weird to break up with someone and then go have sex and then break up?
I had kind of always heard this impression about how, like, you know, breakup sex is, like, the best kind. So, like, I thought, what the hell, I might as well give it a try, because I probably won't be getting laid for a long time again. So I went for it, and, like, right at the moment when I was about to orgasm, I started to bawl hysterically. I'm like, right there, and all of a sudden, I was, ah! And so we stopped and we started over, and it was okay that time. But it wasn't the best sex I've ever had by a long shot, so don't believe the hype.
So Jim also wants to know, Jenni, do you have a recurring dream?
I have two recurring dreams. One of them happens more often than the other. One recurring dream, it's the details of both are a little different every time. It's a theme. One of them is actually related to another story I told last week. I always have this nightmare that I'm driving a car, and for some reason I need to stop. Either I'm going down a hill, or I'm coming to a red light, or there's a car in front of me or something. I need to stop. And I press down on the brake, and the car slows down just a little bit. So I press it all the way to the floor. And the car slows down just a little bit. So I get both feet on the brake, and I'm sitting there pressing all of my body weight against it. It's slowing down just a little bit. And it's very clear that there's no way I'm ever going to be able to stop in time. I'm going to crash into the person in front of me. I always wake up before I actually crash, but like there's this huge, long panic where I'm just trying so hard and I can't stop, and I'm going to run into them. And the other recurring dream I have is there's always this thing where I dream that it's finals, my senior year, like the last semester. It's finals time, and I'm looking through my books, and I realize that I have books for this class that all of a sudden I remember I signed up for, but I never went to the class. I never took exams. Like, I didn't even remember this class until just now, and the final for it is like tomorrow. And if I don't pass this final, if I don't like get a perfect, I'm going to fail, and I'm going to have to stay another year, and I'm not going to graduate from college on time. I have this dream all the time that I'm going to fail. I'm not going to make it out of college on time. And I started having this dream after I graduated. I never had this dream while I was still in college. Terrible. Oh, it's just this incredible panic. Last time I had it, I even remember during the dream thinking, I graduated already. Why do I have to take this exam? And I was so mad. So anyway, that's it.
A lot of people are angry at Jenni for even considering feeding her cats vegan cat food, and I guess you wanted to clear that up a little bit.
Yeah, like I said, I had not made up my mind about it, and kind of, you know, the more information I read about it, I'm definitely not convinced that I want to feed my cats vegan cat food, because, you know, cats are carnivores, and actually one of my main concerns was that my cats had heart murmurs. But we just went to the vet this morning, and neither of them have heart murmurs anymore. Apparently they grew out of them, which the vet said was likely. So, yes, I've still got 4 more months to think about it, and no, I haven't decided that I definitely want to. I've just decided that I definitely don't want to until they're at least a year old. Maybe never. Maybe never. I don't know. The thing is that, yes, cats require proteins and stuff that are typically only found in meat. However, it is possible to get synthetic taurine, and as long as you're really careful about it, it is possible to feed a cat a vegan diet. You just have to be really careful about it. Right now, I'm not sure that I'm ready for the kind of commitment of that kind of specific diet, so I might end up just feeding them meat anyway, because I don't want to risk me messing it up with stupid human error and, like, killing a cat. So, chances are my cats will never be vegan, but please stop badgering me about it.
How do you feel about having friends that aren't vegan? Like, I mean, does it bother you to like sit next to someone at dinner and have them order a steak, or does it bug you at all?
No, I mean, my kind of impression is as long as people don't bug me about being vegan, I'm not going to bug them about not being vegan. Now, people do ask me questions like, so why don't you eat meat, or like, why don't you eat honey, or why don't you eat whatever? And, you know, I'm perfectly happy to share that with them and kind of encourage them toward a vegan lifestyle. But, I mean, as long as my friends don't sit there and go like, you're so weird, I'm not going to sit there and say, you're so disgusting, because, you know, I wasn't vegan for 21 and a half years, you know, who am I to talk?
Someone on Pound JenniCam wanted to know what you've learned during your move.
Whew. I've learned that people keep way more stuff than they need. every time I move, I end up with bags and bags full of trash, things that I realize that I've been holding on for no apparent reason. Like, there was this nightgown that I tried to dye black. It had been this silver color. I tried to color it black, and it ended up turning this kind of army green color, which is not attractive in, like, a long, pretty nightgown. And for some reason, I kept it, thinking, I don't know, that I would bleach it back to the original color, or that I would find a way to color it, but I don't know. And I had this nightgown, and I haven't touched it in months and months, but for some reason I kept it, you know? People keep so much crap. So this is kind of my way of forcing myself to do spring cleaning. Like Joffrey's stuff, I hope he doesn't watch this, but Joffrey's got so much freaking crap. Just crap. He's moving out. And I love the guy to death. I really do. I am completely and thoroughly in love with Joffrey. I hate his stuff. I hate all of his crap because he'll pick up every free newspaper that is anywhere. While walking, he'll pick up every single free newspaper and then lay them on the desk and not read them. Or maybe he'll read a page of it and then shove the rest of it under the bed. So that way while I'm looking for something under the bed, I find this stack of crumpled up newspapers. And I don't know what's with this. He infuriates me with the way he hoards crap.
Do you think he gets them just because they're free?
I think so. I think he keeps thinking there's going to be something really interesting in there, and when he reads it, it'll be interesting. And I have to give him credit that sometimes he does look through them, and he finds out that there's a concert or something that we'd be interested in seeing, and we go see it, and it's fun. But you should at least read them. I find magazines and newspapers and stuff that are, like, months old, and, like, I go to throw them away. He's like, don't throw them away. I haven't read it yet. I'm like, anything in here is so outdated, there's no way it could be of any use to you now. I don't get that.
I think this is, like, always a big issue when you live with anyone. Like, my mom will not save anything in the whole world. And I save just weird stuff. And, like, all of my stuff was always trash to her. So I'd be like, Mom, where's my mummy? She'd be like, I put it in the trash can. You know? And it was... I guess everyone just has their different concepts of what's important to them. Like, I save every letter that anyone's ever written to me. And sometimes the letter will just be, like, so shallow. Like, it'll be like, oh, I went to the beach today with my family. And, you know, but I still have it. And it's kind of cool because I have, like, letters that people wrote to me, like, when I was, like, 6 and 7 years old. And the funny thing is that I'm still friends with these people now. So it kind of has an extra meaning, you know. And if I had let my mom throw them away, I would have been kind of upset.
I think, like, my oldest friend is, like, that I still keep in touch with is, like, the guy I dated in college. Like, my best friends from high school, like, I run into them occasionally when I'm at home, but we definitely don't, like, keep in touch. So, no, I'm very bad about keeping in touch with people, really. I don't know why.
I don't know, it's really funny, like most of my best friends I've had for 10 to 15 years. In fact, my best friend I've had for almost 20 years now.
Wow.
Kind of scary.
Wow. You know, it's really sad because, like, the boy down the street that I was best friends with when I was, like, 4 and he was 3, Adam, wrote me email, like 2 months ago. And this, everybody that I knew from before that writes me email, like Mr. Butt Mr. Butt was junior high. Mr. Heverly was my gifted teacher in elementary school. Or Tim Finnegan, who I dated in junior high, or, you know, somebody that I took French class with. Like, these people all email me, and I get so excited, and I email them back, and then they never write to me again. So I'm always so paranoid now when, like, an old friend writes to me, like, I have to compose the perfect letter because I'm afraid I'm saying something that totally puts them off. And still, they never write back. I don't know why, but, like, I guess they're interested enough to talk to me, but, like, maybe they get my SIG, and my SIG has my website address in it, and they check out my website, and they get scared, and just like, okay, never mind, Jen Ringley.
So, have you ever run into that evil guy you used to date when you've gone back home?
Oh, no, I guess he's out of jail now, but when he wrote me that letter from prison, I wrote back a letter to him that I had written it just to be therapeutic, and then I threw it away and was going to write him a nice letter. And I called one of my friends and told him how good it felt to write the really mean letter. He's like, so send it, it'll feel even better. Like, oh, I couldn't do that. I said, why? I'm like, well, that would be mean. She's like, why do you care about being mean to a guy who beat you up for 3 years? I'm like, yeah, you're right, damn it. So I stuck an envelope on it, I sent it off, and the next day I told my mom, and she's like, oh, I can't believe you did that, that's so mean. I'm like, Mom, you of all people should, like, be on my side on this one. But anyway, he never tried to contact me after that, so it had the desired effect of me.
Do you think he's a vengeful person?
No, I hope not. I know, I picture, like, 2 years from now, he's going to come after me and be like, I still have that letter, bitch. He's going to, like, stab me or something. Ooh. Fun topic.
Yeah, someone was asking about your favorite CDs. I wanted some music tips from Jenni.
I can't say this enough. Go get Hooverphonic. I know I say this like every third Jenni show or something. Go get Hooverphonic. You're going to love it. And if you don't, send me your copy and I'll pay you for it because I would love to have a billion extra copies of this. What else do I love? James Taylor is always great. He's my favorite because you can sing along to his stuff. It's not intimidating. He's got like the most nice guy kind of voice. You know, he's not like, you know, Boys to Men where you like sing along and your friends are going, oh God, you're ruining the whole thing. So James Taylor is awesome, especially for like driving. I like Canned Heat. They're really cool. That guy's got the coolest voice. Jethro Tull, also very cool. I like a lot of classic rock, probably because I dated this guy in college who would only listen to classic rock, so I found a lot of stuff that I liked. Love Peter Gabriel.
Do you like any of the angsty female singers?
No. I like Bjork, but she's not very angsty.
Yeah.
She's very sugar cubey, in fact.
So should we do like the Jenni trick segment? Because apparently like a lot of people have been writing in that Jenni can do some like wacky thing with her elbows, like she's like double jointed.
Yeah. I mentioned it on the Anatomy 101 page that I do this crazy thing with my elbows. And it's not real crazy. It's just kind of odd. So I guess we'll do like the Jenni trick segment. Okay. This probably isn't even going to look very cool at all on real video, but play along with me. Take your left arm, for instance. Hold it right out in front of you. Now flip it over so your thumb goes on top and over. And now flip it over again. So that's what I do. My elbow turns inside out.
Do you feel any strain? Or does that feel natural?
The muscles aren't straining. What I feel is that like the bones won't go any further than that. Okay, I'm going to do it real slow so that way the video stays up with me. We're going to go, ooh. And now I hold my thumb because it's easier. Ooh. One more time. So essentially your hand is upside down. So that's what it does. It's kind of cool. My elbows are definitely double jointed. Most of my body is. My thumbs aren't. My thumbs are definitely not double jointed. I can kind of. That's not even very cool. No, my thumbs aren't double jointed. But if you were here, I would show you my cool hip trick. I can pop my hips in and out of joint, like just pop them in and out of their socket. But you can't really tell unless you have your hand like on my hip to feel the bone going. It's pretty cool. And I guess I have to show my piercings now. So don't get embarrassed, okay? They're just nipples, really. You've got two of your own, I promise. So okay, so we're gonna do a before because I only got one of them done, so you can see like what my nipple looked like before. They're not even very like perky right now. You see how exciting doing the Jenni show is. It's got me all hot and bothered, you know. Okay, so left breast first. Woo. Got a microphone cord there too. It's like, you know, a free little prize. Okay, and the one with the piercing now. Whee! Yes, I know it looks painful. No, it's not painful. You're really not supposed to touch it, but I am. So I'm gonna have to go wash it. But that's all it is. It's just right through there. And yes, I realize that I have like the world's smallest nipples and the world's biggest areola, and I think that they look really nasty. But like this way, it's distracting. You know, this way you don't really look at what they look like. You just look at the jewelry, and the jewelry's pretty. So that was kind of my whole reasoning. And I don't want to get both of them done, so don't advise that I get the other one done. And I think I have all the holes punched in my body that I'm really going to get. So, I just...
Tattoo is next. Tattoo.
Tattoo. No. I once joked that I would, I've joked more than once about this because I think it's hysterical, that I would consider getting a tattoo on my ass that says "this end up." But Joffrey is not kinky, so it wouldn't even be of any use.
You know what I think is really sexy is the Celtic armbands that go right around there.
You know what?
I love those.
I thought what would be really cool would be to get like a little something like right on the back of the neck, like a little like V-shaped something, so that way I could cover it up with my hair and nobody would see. But you know, I'm picturing like here I am, like I'm going to be 70 years old, and like you know I'm going to have the obligatory really short 70-year-old woman hair, and all the other women in the old folks home are going to be looking at me going like, she's such a punk. And I'm like, no, Mildred, I'm not a punk. I was just having fun in my 20s. And I don't know.
Well, not to mention that like when you're like 35 or 40, you might get the mom cut. You know, the cut that all moms have, like the short kind of bushy here.
On top with like the razored in the back.
Yeah, I mean that's what my mom has.
My mom had that for years and years, and I finally convinced her to get rid of it because it's so ugly. But yeah, so I'm not a tattoo kind of girl. No, because a piercing is easy to get rid of. A tattoo requires like lasers and stuff, and there are no lasers coming anywhere near this body. Okay. Yay! All right. Well,
we love you. Send in questions.
Send in ideas too, because I mean it's summer, so maybe we'll like take a trip to the beach or something. But for now, like we're kind of here-ish. So.
Well, when you get your apartment together, we can give them a tour of the finished product.
Right.
So you're going to be like painting walls and stuff like that, right?
Yes, I'm making Joffrey do all the work. Joffrey's going to be painting and lifting heavy things and so forth and assembling stuff. So maybe like next time we can show Joffrey doing manly work and so forth, because I'm not doing it. No chance. So okay, that's it for this show, and we love you. And send questions. Bye.
Yay!